Good afternoon. On a bit of a roll now. These videos are coming thick and fast. I think what happens when I get started on a project, it takes a while for me to get going and then kind of accelerate as things start to happen. So in this next video, what I'd like to do is sort out the funny key. So there's a funny key just there, which is all wonky and distorted and curled with it. So when I get that sorted, and I think the other thing I'll do in this video is do the palettes on the treble side. So for both of those things, I'm going to have to take off the grill. So let's start with doing that. So on this particular one, there's two flathead screws, so that should just be nice and easy. And for the first time, have a look inside. See what the palettes look like. I'm not expecting them to look perfect. I'm expecting them to look like they need changing. So take off that one. Whee, come here. It's hot. I do enjoy doing this kind of stuff because it's like bringing it back to life from a position of no hope, which would have like one step away from the being thrown away, to hopefully just being a really nice instrument that someone's going to enjoy playing, making some music on. So yeah, it's a really rewarding thing to do, although it does take a bit of time and there's no money in it, that's for sure, because the amount of time you spent doesn't equate to how much you might get if you sell, but that's not why you do it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right, whoa, hello. Right. Ooh. So this grill cloth I'm going to change because that has got very discoloured. You can see it's gone black really. So I'm going to put a nice warm whitish grill cloth on there, so that will really make that look a lot better. Really get that shot more impressive. Ooh, right, and here it's very grey, so it's very dusty. And kind of black looking, but the good thing is, although it is dusty and dirty, nothing's stuck, everything's working, it's just needs a good sort out, which is a good thing, so that doesn't matter. So the first thing then is the key, which is a bit wonky donk, so it's that one there. Now if I already have a look at it, I can see that it's already lifting a bit from the wood. So what I'm going to do is get some bladage, so I'll get some knives and things that I'm going to use for prying. So just get my little selection of knives, and I thought what I'm also going to do, I'm going to get a hairdryer, and I'm just going to heat along here. Hopefully that will soften up the glue a little bit and make it a bit easier to get that top off, because what I want to do is get that top off and then flatten it so it's not curled up, so it'll look a lot better. So let's plug the hairdryer in, and I'll just try and direct that heat just onto that one there, and see if I can just warm it up a little bit. Oh, that's got nice and warm. So I'm hoping, just quick, hoping I'll be able to just. There we go. Whee! There we are. Put a bit more heat on there. Have to be quick. Oh, there we go. There. Fantastic. There we go. Cool, blimey. That was a bit easier than I thought. So now what we've got is the key, which is a bit bent. It's all kind of like, even more bent now I heat it up. That's all kind of a little bit distorted and certainly bent at the end. And then we've got the wooden bar, which that key has been glued onto. So brilliant, I'm pleased with that. So what I'm going to do now is the next step. I'm going to try and get this key into a flat state. So I'm going to have to use the hairdryer again. And if I hold that up, there we are. Hopefully you can see how winky wonky that is now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to heat it again, and I'm going to put some weight on top of it and try and get it as flat as I can. So I've got a nice flat bit of timber, and what I'll do on top of that, I'll just put some heavy books. That's my favourite go-to for this kind of stuff. So let's see what we've got today. We've got the bicycle book, Bible for Toddlers, very apt on Easter Sunday. Got that and that, and what else have we got? Gypsy Moth Circles the World, Francis Chichester. So we've got a real selection of stuff here. Anything else? Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Basic Carpentry. Here we are. What a collection of books I've got there. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to heat this up a lot, and I'm going to get something flat to put this on after I've heated it up, and then I'm going to put the wood on the top and some weight, and I'll just see what happens. So I'm going to get this really warm again. Oh, what's happened? Oh, what I would have done, the hairdryer stopped working. Give me a second. Okay, I think it just needed to cool down a bit. It got overheated, got overexcited. Right, I'm going to get this hot, and then quickly get something on top of it to flatten it. Let's see if this works. In fact, I think what I'm going to do, heat it on the wood. Right, I'll show you what it's like in a few minutes. Okay, this is not quite enough pressure on here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this down to the shed, I'm going to heat it up again and then put it in my big vise and clamp it with some soft jaws and get that really straight. So let's go down to the shed. Okay, ooh, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the soft jaws on my vise. And I'm going to heat up the key again, pop in the soft jaws, clamp it up, and it should straighten it up. So let's get this heated up again. Okay, just leave that for a few minutes for it to cool down. Because it's quite a long key, I'll straighten that bit, then heat up this bit and straighten that bit as well. Hopefully it'll work. A little bit more tricky than I thought really, but let's see. Just wait for that to cool down. If it doesn't work, I have to go to plan C. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I just stopped that for a little while to wait for it to cool. Okay, so it's getting a lot better. This bit here, I'm going to do one more go on this bit and then I'll just flatten out the rest of it. So I'm going to heat it up one more time and do one more pass, and hopefully this will be it. Ah! Try again. Alright, see what it looks like in a sec. Okay, that's looking a lot better. I'm just going to do the other end and clamp that bit as well. And then I'll take it back up to the workshop. Right, let's show what it looks like when it's done. So I think it's looking a lot better now. So what I'm going to do now is take this back up to the workshop and just see how it looks when I put it back onto the key. Okay, let's go. Right, this is a bit more complicated than I thought. The wooden base of the key, if you like, it's not straight. So basically, it's flat here, and then it kind of it's been distorted, it's kind of warped, so it's kind of tipping down. Now I don't want to try and straighten that because it'll just break. So what I'm going to do, because it's kind of at an angle, if I put the key on top of that, the key will be at an angle. So I'm just going to build up the one side very slightly with a bit of special putty that I've got that hardens until I've got a nice flatter surface then to glue it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some of this special Unibond 2-in-1 putty thing. It's like 2-part putty. So I need to have about half of it. So just cut it in half. I don't need all of it. In fact, I don't need hardly any of it. So I'm going to just cut some. There we are. Put the rest of it back in the packet. I don't need all of that. And then the idea is that you mix it up till you get the two parts mixed together. So it's just a question of get into a malleable, and then I'm just going to put a little slither on the key and build up one side. So it's a hopefully so just get a little bit like this. Just feather it down. Till I've got that looking a bit more level. So I'm just going to do a bit of knife work on here. So I just stopped the second one. I'm just going to flatten that a little bit. Okay, so while that's just hardening off on that key, I'm just going to clean off all of the excess glue off the underside of this key so that there's a nice clean surface to be gluing against. This is a little bit of a tricky challenge, much more challenging than I thought actually. Well, not much more, but a little bit more challenging. So once I've got all this sorted, I'm just going to use super glue, because that's the best really for getting plastic stuck to wood. I think that's going to, and it won't affect the plastic, and it won't affect the wood, and it should be nice and permanent as well. I'm just going to use it as something. Okay, I'm going to let that putty set for a bit, and then I'm going to glue it together. I'll show you when I'm ready to glue. Okay, I'm going to go for this. So I got everything ready. That putty is now hardened off on that key. I'm going to use some super glue. And I'm going to put it onto the key. I'm going to make sure I get it across. Actually, I don't need it at the far end because it's not going to be sticking at that point. But there we are. I've done it now. So all along the key. So I won't have that long to get this stuck. So I'll have to put fairly quickly. Right. Just quickly put the top on that. Let it dry off. Right, this is the nerve-wracking bit. I've also got to be careful not to get glue on my fingers. So just get it just level with the now I'm just going to use my own finger force, because that's the only way really I can get in there without very difficult to clamp in this situation. So just going to have to push with my fingers. So I'll just stop this for a minute. Okay, so finally got this key back on, and it's this one here, and it's definitely looking a lot flatter, a lot more even, and it's kind of the same length as the other keys. So I haven't leveled up the keys yet. I'll do that after I've done the pallets, but I think I'll stop this video here now. But I'll do a little picture of this now it's finished, a little kind of final shot. And yeah, I think I'll stop there. I think that's quite a challenge, but I think it looks pretty good. So I'll do the pallets in the next video.